This is a family-run business in Germany, and they determine on their own how much to pay for energy. We have extremely low energy prices here. We pay 2.5 cents per kilowatt hour for heating and cooling, and 1.6 cents for electricity. The heat captured by these solar panels is stored underground beneath the building. This is only possible with renewable energy. We have enough electricity to power our production and operations as well. We are in Kupferzell in the southwest of Germany. The company, Mefe, manufactures fastening and mounting systems. Solar cells and solar thermal modules provide the majority of the energy required for the factory. What makes this in-house system so unique is the fact that solar heat is stored beneath the building. The result is extremely low energy costs. Lowering the cost of energy is also the goal further north in Bottrop, Westphalia. A ditch is being dug here, like at the factory in Baden-Württemberg, to ensure low heating costs. The ditch is going to be around 8 meters long since the mats are around 7 meters. We need a little clearance between the mat and the ground so we can move it around a bit. Workers are installing special plastic mats. This will allow the soil to absorb heat during the summer and release it when needed. A mixture of water and glycol, known as brine, will later flow through these so-called ground absorbers. The ground heat exchanger is made of polypropylene, which is highly conductive and has very thin walls, allowing the heat from the ground to be transferred directly to the brine. These slim ground source heat exchangers have a major advantage over conventional flat plate collectors, since they do not require digging a large hole. Narrow ditches are enough, which saves time and money. The ditch is then refilled with sand. Ultimately, several of these ground source heat exchangers can be installed side by side in a field. We're standing on part of the field where the ground absorbers are. You can actually see the top edge of one of them on the ground. The ground absorbers can be backfilled with about 1 to 1.5 meters of soil so that a building with a foundation slab can then be constructed on top of them. During the construction of the factory in Kupferzell, a milling machine was used to dig the ditches. This saved time. 30 ditches in total were dug here. 240 ground absorbers were installed in these ditches. The factory building was built on top of the absorbers. In total, there is a surface area of 13,000 square meters. The sun heats solar collectors installed on the roof and the southern-facing facade of the building. The heat from the collectors flows toward the ground absorbers. There, they pass their heat into the ground. By the end of the summer, over 5,000 cubic meters of soil have reached a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius. When winter comes, heat pumps will utilize this large amount of energy that has been stored. They heat water for special pipes located within the concrete core of the foundation. The pipes have a total length of around 45 kilometers and heat the foundation to 25 degrees Celsius. This means that the factory can always maintain a comfortable working temperature. This concrete core heating system is used to heat the entire building, including production facilities and the warehouse. Concrete core activation is basically a form of underfloor heating that is installed deeper in the floor. Heat can be stored for a very long time due to the large mass of concrete. The metalworking company employs around 200 people. Martin Schneider is head of the family business in the third generation. He also serves as managing partner. The pipes are buried so deep into the concrete core that there aren't really any limitations on operations or on the installation of machinery or equipment. The offices in the company, however, are heated using standard underfloor heating. The pipes in this system are located just a few centimeters below the screed, as opposed to in the concrete core activation systems. We have underfloor heating here, not concrete core heating. This allows us to regulate the temperature in the office more quickly and flexibly to meet the needs of our employees. The 192 solar thermal collectors on the building's southern face play a particularly important role in the heating system. These so-called solar absorbers do more than just collect the sun's heat. These are solar collectors that serve two purposes. First and foremost, they capture solar energy to heat the brine. Secondly, they also function as solar air collectors that utilize ambient energy even when the sun isn't shining. These absorbers also contain a water glycol mixture. This allows these so-called multi-Q absorbers to function not only as solar absorbers, but also as air absorbers, literally absorbing warmth in the air. And this is how it works. Even on a cold winter day, the absorbers can be cooler than the outside air, since the liquid inside them does not freeze. As the air passes over these cold absorbers, it cools further. This makes the air heavier, causing it to sink downward. This airflow heats the water glycol mixture inside the heat exchangers to the outside temperature. The brine, now heated, flows to two of the three heat pumps. These compress the large amount of lower temperature heat to the level required by the concrete core and the underfloor heating in the offices. In the process, the brine cools down again. It then flows back to the absorbers. These ultimately function like the outdoor unit of an air-to-water heat pump. The heat from the ground storage system can be stored for colder days during the winter when there is little to no sun. However, that is not the only technology used to harvest energy from the sun and the ambient air. There are also photovoltaic panels on the roof and the facade. These generate electricity with a maximum output of 750 kilowatts. Some of the PV panels work together with the solar and air absorbers. Here we have the solar absorber and a PV panel, which is then mounted on top of a solar collector. By combining the solar thermal module with the photovoltaic, we can get about 3 times the output or energy yield per square meter of roof area. Of course, in combination with the heat and pump storage capacity. The solar panels are installed directly above the solar collectors. When the sun shines, the rays first heat the solar panels. Their heat then causes the solar collectors below them to warm up as well. This allows additional solar thermal energy to be harvested. There's a chimney effect happening at the same time in the space between the PV panel and the solar absorber, and this wind or draft can be turned into energy. If the sun isn't shining, the solar panels, which also double as air absorbers, absorb heat from the surrounding air. A chimney effect, the movement of air, enhances this heat absorption. Intelligent energy management is essential to ensure an ideal operation of the various components. The 3 heat pumps are therefore precisely coordinated regarding both the amount of energy each component can supply, as well as the amount of energy currently needed in the building. The entire system, in fact, is designed to handle a variety of weather conditions, like cold yet sunny days of winter. At the moment, the 264 solar collectors and over 1,800 photovoltaic panels generate more energy than the company needs for heating and electricity. The PV electricity flows directly to the machines as well as into the grid. The excess energy from the solar collectors flows beneath the building and compensates for the initial temperature losses in the energy storage system. The heat pumps not only heat the building, but can also store energy for days when the sun is not shining. To be prepared for such days, the concrete core is heated to 28 degrees Celsius, a temperature higher than necessary. This way it can be used as a kind of short-term storage system. Thanks to the smart control system of the heat pumps, the concrete core can be overcharged with heat. When we know the sun will be shining and the temperature high, we let the heat pumps run for an extended period. We overcharge the concrete core, raising the temperatures higher than usual. Thanks to the storage capacity, we can use this energy a week later when we need it and avoid having to turn on the heat pump at a time when it would be less efficient. If the sun does not shine for a few days, the heat pump nevertheless doesn't need to run because the concrete core is still warm enough. However, if the sun doesn't come out for several days, and the outside temperature drops below 2 degrees Celsius, the ground collectors now supply heat for the building. By the end of winter, the ground storage system has a temperature of 5 to 10 degrees Celsius. Intelligent steering of the heat pumps is closely linked to the weather forecast, of course. We adjust the output based on the forecast. We generate exactly the amount of heat we need based on the weather and our specific situation. This intelligent control system, which adapts to weather conditions, makes the entire energy system extremely efficient. And the building's owner incorporated this into the plans from the very beginning. When we submitted our building permit application, we were asked if we had forgotten to include a gas connection. No, we deliberately chose not to have one. We rely 100% on the heat pump. We generate 7 kilowatt-hours of heat from 1 kilowatt-hour of electricity. Incredibly efficient. Also, we generate 30% of the electricity needed for this ourselves via our PV system, which we installed on the roof here. This efficient heating system actually improves the quality of production. Among other things, MEFA processes metal profiles into fastening and mounting systems. When the material is delivered in the winter, the metal typically cools down during unloading. In the warmer warehouse, this could lead to condensation from the humidity in the air, and as a result, to rust forming on the metal.
We
have so much energy available here that we can heat the truck shed. Our materials are not only dry, but even warmed up a bit when they're loaded and unloaded. And that ultimately leads to better quality and more efficient production. The company processes approximately 6,000 tons of steel each year. Fully automatic machines manufacture pipe clamps. These machines can bend, punch, and weld simultaneously. This process generates a great deal of heat, which is why they need to be cooled. We need cooling all year round, and we draw this cooling energy from the ice storage system, a cooling solution that is available to us year-round at almost no additional cost. The company generates not only heat, but also cooling capacity, which is stored in this large water tank. It holds 60,000 liters and is located right next to the heat pumps.
The heat pumps generate heat for the building, and in the process, cool air is automatically produced. We can use this to cool the building or the equipment in the server rooms. This means that the cold air produced by the heat pumps also flows to the 60 heat exchangers in the tank. As a result, the water cools down. Ice particles first form in the absorbers, and eventually, over the course of the winter, a 60 cubic meter block of ice is formed. The ice can expand without causing the storage tank to burst. The cooling energy from this ice storage system is then used to cool a server room. In addition, this system is also used to regulate the temperature of the machines in the production area. The waste heat generated by the heat pumps during cooling is recirculated back into the heating system. In the summer, however, there is no need for heating and the ice melts. But that is when the machines and the server room need to be cooled. Therefore, the cold storage unit should not get warmer than 10 degrees Celsius. To prevent the storage tank from heating up, the water is cooled down again at night using heat pumps. The heat generated in this process flows to the air absorbers, which heat up to 30 degrees Celsius. The air absorbers release the heat into the cool night air. But it's not just the air absorbers that are used to cool the building. The ground absorbers also provide cooling energy as they reach a temperature of 5 to 10 degrees Celsius at the end of the heating season. In the summer, this allows the underfloor heating in the offices and the server room to be regulated. The results of this well-designed cooling system are impressive. Over the course of a year, the heat pumps generate approximately 8 to 10 kilowatts of cooling from a single kilowatt hour of electricity. We generate far more energy than we need here at our facility. Within just 3.5 years, the entire system has paid for itself compared to conventional gas or oil heating systems. After those 3.5 years, we get the energy for free, so to speak, right here in the heart of Germany. This medium-sized company manages the renewable energy sources available highly intelligently. The ground beneath the building is used as a year-round storage facility. In addition, the operation of the individual components is perfectly coordinated to match the seasons. And this interaction is constantly optimized using AI. The result is extremely low energy costs in a highly industrialized country like Germany.